What's going on, and welcome to the Talking Smack show. Pretty good episode of Smackdown this week. We kicked things off with Solo Sikoa taking the mic in the middle of the ring. He was joined by Jacob Fatu, and who last week we were told was called Jeff Cobb. And then by the start of the episode, he was called JC. And by the end of the episode, he was called JC Matteo. So I'm going to go with JC, but it's going to go to shit at some point. So just accept that. So we started off with Solo, and he was basically telling us that Roman Reigns losing the belt was a hard thing for him and his family. It ruined them. Cody Rhodes cost his family everything, but Solo's going to take it all back, first of all, by winning the Money in the Bank qualifier match later that night. And if anyone tries to stop him, JC and Fatu will take them out, basically. And then he started laughing, stared at Jacob Fatu and said, "Because I'm all gas and no brakes, they better get in where they fit in." And then Jacob Fatu snatched the mic off of him. He looked pissed. And then Fatu started saying that he didn't need anyone. He was doing everything on his own. Yeah, no. And then Solo started joining in. He'd got another mic and started joining in. Jacob Fatu took off his glasses, stared Solo in the eyes, and he looked like he was about to beat him down when we heard LA Knight. And then they were staring at the ramp. And then JC got dragged out of the ring from behind and attacked. Then Jacob and Solo ran out to chase him, but he ran off into the ring and told them that he was going to take them all out. Next up, we had Michin backstage, and she announced she was going to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank match. She was talking to B-Fab. Then Chelsea Green and the Secret Service showed up. And Chelsea said, don't go getting above your station because I'm going to win. And then there's going to be a trickle-down economic effect, which is going to benefit the Secret Service. Then Alexa Bliss came out past, said, "I see you out there." Then B-Fab told Chelsea that the Secret Service weren't allowed to join her. They had to stay with B-Fab backstage. And then enraged, Chelsea screamed out, "I'm putting tariffs on mediocrity, and you guys are first." And then that nasty little Bliss. I love Chelsea Green so much. She is just a international treasure. And she is just the funniest thing in the world. So going into this triple threat match, I was so desperate for Chelsea Green to win, because I think her with the Money in the Bank briefcase will just be absolute gold. They need to make this happen. So in the match, as soon as it started, Michin drop kicked Chelsea out of the ring. Then her and Bliss started scrapping. Then Chelsea tried to get back in the ring, and Michin threw her out again. Then Bliss and Michin were scrapping again. Then Chelsea tried to get in, and both women drop kicked her out of the ring. Fucking bitches, man. Let Chelsea play, you know what I mean? And Chelsea finally got into the ring. She went for an unprettier on Michin. Michin reversed it into Eat the Feet, but Bliss broke up the pin. Then Bliss hit a tornado DDT onto Michin and then twisted Bliss. But Green ran it back into the ring, threw Bliss out of the ring, landed the unprettier, but decided to celebrate rather than go for the pin. And then Bliss came back in, threw Michin out, and hit the Sister Abigail on Chelsea Green for the win. So Bliss has qualified for the Money in the Bank match. As Green left, she was screaming, "I was robbed!" doing her Trump impression once again. And I was just, I don't know how they can do this, but they need to put Green into the next qualifier or the next qualifier and the next qualifier. she just needs to get into that match because she is everything. But as well as just being hilarious and me just wanting her to win because I love her, if you've ever seen any of her stuff from Lucha Underground, she is hectic. Like, put her in a hardcore match and she is going to turn up. She's going to put those bitches through their paces. So it's not just that I think she'd be hilarious. It's also that she will put on the best match. Like, she will do some crazy stuff if they let her. So we need to start a petition. She was robbed. We want the count back. She's the greatest. She's going to inspire a trickle-down economy for the Secret Service. She's going to put tariffs. It's going to be amazing. We need Chelsea Green to win once again. So then backstage after the match, Bliss saw Charlotte and she asked if she'd thought about what she said. Charlotte said she didn't want to be friends with her. Bliss said that, well, she remembers when she was starting out, Charlotte had been really supportive. Charlotte was like, I don't remember that. Then Nick Aldis walked out of his office with Julia, and Julia has signed for SmackDown, which is sick. Because at the moment, Tiffany Stratton is having to work with bums. So if we can get some more good women in there, it's just going to be better for everyone. Then Nick said to Charlotte, shall we talk about Money in the Bank? And then Charlotte said, I don't need you. And then she walked off. And then Alexa Bliss said, we'll see. Or keep telling yourself that. So be interesting to see what happens with those two moving down. My guess is they're going to both be in the Money in the Bank match. And then they're going to fall out and we're going to have a pretty cool rivalry. That's the hope anyway, right? So next up, we had DIY versus Fraxiom. Obviously, last week, Fraxiom beat the Street Profits, and then DIY attacked them afterwards. So they had a match to settle the scores. And it was just nuts. It was 100 miles an hour the whole way through. The tag team SmackDown division is fire, and this match was just built on that. It was superb. So we had Fraser going for like a lion salt like Jericho used to do off of the middle rope, bouncing back, and Johnny Gargano super kicked him out of the air. Fraser then ate the fairy tale ending, but Axiom broke it up. Then there was a superplex and a super kick on Gargano, followed by a brainbuster and another super kick. And then Axiom was pinning, and then Ciampa kneed him in the face to break it up. It was wild. Like, it was so much fun. Like, there was too much to go through. It was the best match of the night by some distance, and it was just super match. Ultimately, Gargano rolled up Axiom. Axiom reversed it into a pin, and they won. And then DIY began to beat down Fraxiom until Motor City Machine Guns ran down to save them. But really, really fun. Like, opening segment, first two matches, like, quality, really, really good. Then then after that, Fraxiom were backstage, and Street Profits told them that they've arranged a match for next week and they're going to get a title shot on SmackDown. So that will be cool as well. It's going to be another great match. But the Street Profits were emphasizing the fact that they will be fully fit for that match, whereas they weren't last week. Backstage, Rey Fenix and Andrade were talking. Rey Fenix was saying he's going into Money in the Bank match. It's his next step. And then Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and JC Matteo walked past, and they were asking where LA Knight was, and they basically said, we don't speak English, which was funny. Then we had an interview. This was like a backstage interview recorded earlier, not in the ring, with Wade Barrett interviewing R-Truth. And he was basically asking him about how he got attitude adjustment through the table by John Cena after what was the Backlash pay-per-view. And Truth was saying that he could, no matter what, he could always rely on John Cena. When life was getting tired, when life was getting hard, John Cena was telling you can do anything. And then hustle, loyalty, and respect, they're not just words. They're a beacon of light. And then Wade Barrett was like, what the hell, man? Like, you saved John Cena's match. And he put you through a table. And Truth was like, I didn't save him. John Cena won that match. But what the man we're seeing, that's not John Cena. And he said, I don't want to fight John Cena, but if I have to beat him back to his senses, I'll do it. So we're going to have R-Truth versus John Cena at Saturday main event, which I'm really looking forward to. I think it's going to be hilarious, and I think it's going to be very, very villainous from John Cena. I don't think it bodes very well for R-Truth. Next, we had a video package of Damian Priest, and he's basically said enough's enough. He challenges Drew McIntyre to a Hell in a Cell match at Saturday night main event. Later in the show, Priest came to the ring. He said that Priest's obsessed with him. He's jealous of Drew. He thinks Priest is willing to kill him if he has to, because he chokeslammed him from 15 foot up onto concrete. Because obviously Priest botched it and missed the tables. Drew accepts the match, and he promises that only one man will walk out of the cell. The other will be leaving on a stretcher. So that should be really fun at Saturday night main event. Then we had Aleister Black versus Carmelo Hayes. It was fun, but I'm over this. Like, we've had enough of this storyline. I think we've established that Aleister Black can kick people, and these guys cannot stop him from kicking them. During the match, Black went for the Black Mass, but Miz attacked him, causing disqualification. Then Miz went for the Skull Crushing Finale, but ate a Black Mass. Then Mello attacked Aleister Black from behind, taking him out by the knee, and then landed the Nothing But Net. I was hoping this would be like a line drawn, but it's obviously not. Like, Carmelo Hayes has now cost him, so God knows what's going to happen there. Then we had a pretty fun triple threat match. It was the men's Money in the Bank qualifier for the night. So it was Jimmy Uso versus Rey Fenix versus Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu and JC Matteo, Jeff Cobb, JC, whatever we want to call him. They were at the ringside. And during the match, like, Solo looked great, to be honest. And I was thinking it's such a shame, like, he's become a bit of a joke because he's got so much potential. And obviously, as well as just being painted as a joke, also Jacob Fatu's rise to greatness has just sort of put him in the shadows somewhat. But he was looking really great again. Jimmy Uso hit a spear, and it's just horrific. It's even worse than Jey Uso's. Like, we need to stop people doing spears, and we need to stop people doing moonsaults. Like, I am willing to take a paid position with WWE, and people could approach me about whether they get a spear or a moonsault, and I will be the one to decide from this point forwards. So Jimmy was getting on top. After this ugly spear, he was about to climb the top rope. He was stood on the apron, and Jacob Fatu jumped up. Jimmy hit him with a super kick, but then as a result of this distraction, Solo Sikoa was able to hit him with the Samoan spike. Then JC Matteo, that guy, was on the other apron and went to attack Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix managed to fend him off, but whilst he was celebrating, Solo Sikoa came up behind and Samoan spiked him as well. 1, 2, 3. Solo is in the Money in the Bank in the Money in the Bank match, which is pretty exciting. Then, while Solo was celebrating, LA Knight showed up and attacked Cobb, then attacked JC Matteo, whatever his name is, then attacked Jacob Fatu, then was stood on the announce table with a chair as Solo, Cobb, and Fatu started to close in on him. Aldis showed up, demanding everyone, stand down, stand down. As he said, as Knight wants to fight JC so bad, and JC wants to stick his nose in everyone's business, they're going to settle it in the ring right now. So during that match, the main thing that really stood out is JC Matteo is strong, like really, really strong. He can't be like, I doubt he's 5'10". He's not a big guy, but he is a powerhouse, man. LA Knight kept trying to like do leaping attacks and things like that, and JC was just catching him. Like, he just carried him around the ring for like 5 minutes at one point. He's very impressive. Another point, he hit a standing moonsault. Like, this guy is cool. I'm really excited. I've watched quite a lot of clips of him on social media the last week, and I'm really excited. I would like him to be on a different roster to Jacob Fatu because there's a lot of similarities, to be honest, and I think that's going to cause issues. During the match, Wade Barrett was really stressing that basically, like, Jacob Fatu doesn't look happy that JC's arrived, and he's not happy with how Solo is going. Like, the writing's on the wall what's going to happen here. When it's going to happen is the real question. It's looking like SummerSlam, but JC being added seems to be speeding things up and just makes it all an even more interesting concept. So during the match, every time Knight was looking like he might get on top, Solo was basically distracting him, letting JC get back on top. In the end, the distractions became too much. Knight was out on the apron about to attack JC, and Solo sort of tried to grab him. Knight then did a springboard crossbody outside, taking out Solo and Fatu. And then when he went to get back in the ring, he tried to do another springboard attack into JC. JC caught him and did like a sort of power slam. Apparently it's called Tour of the Island. 1, 2, 3, got the win. Then Solo and Jacob got in the ring to Solo lifted up JC's arm to celebrate. Jacob didn't go anywhere near them, really. He just sort of did his snarling thing and then lifted up his belt to celebrate. So it's interesting to see what's going on there. It feels like it's all exploding very, very quickly. We've obviously got Tama and Tonga to possibly come back as well, so that'll be interesting to see what happens. But really, I feel like Jacob Fatu could do with being on Raw possibly and just being away from all of this nonsense and just carry on building. But we'll see what's happening. Following the match, there was a video package from Shinsuke Nakamura. He's got Money in the Bank qualifier versus LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes, I think it was. No, LA Knight and Aleister Black. So that'll be interesting. Obviously, Carmelo Hayes may well show up during that match, I was thinking. But he said he's an unstoppable blade. He's unstoppable in lots of ways. But it was a cool package. Hopefully this means that Shinsuke isn't leaving, because there was a lot of talk that he wasn't signing a new contract and he was going to go back to Japan. So hopefully that's not the case, because I think he's cool. Then we had another little backstage segment of Santos Escobar with Angel, and he was asking him whether he had heard from Berto, and Angel was saying he couldn't get through to him. And basically Escobar said that Angel has to get Berto back and that they need to show loyalty because there are big opportunities coming. I don't really care about that, to be honest with you. And then lastly, we had the main event, Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton. And it was just Nia Jax, man. She hit the sloppiest power bomb, then did like a slam, which was fine, and then like the slowest, most pathetic elbow drop onto Tiffany. It was just embarrassing. This has to be the end of this rivalry, and Nia Jax has to leave the main event scene because she is not good enough. And every match she has with Tiffany Stratton, she is making Tiffany Stratton look poor. And Tiffany Stratton isn't poor. Like, she put on a great match with Charlotte. She is an exceptional wrestler. But Nia Jax is just appalling. She is so bad. She's just dreadful. I can't believe it. So in the end, Tiffany landed the prettiest moonsault. Nia Jax kicked out of it. Apparently the first person to ever do it. Then Nia threw Tiffany out of the ring. She started clearing the announce table and then did a Samoan drop onto the announce table, then threw Tiffy back into the ring. After a bit of struggle, she dropped the Annihilator on Tiffy. Tiffy grabbed the ropes after 2. Then Naomi showed up with a chair at some point. Oh, no, that was before the... I really didn't care about this match. Naomi came down to the ring with a chair. Jade Cargill chased her off and they were fighting in the crowd. Then there was that Annihilator bit. After Tiffy grabbed the ropes, Nia took the belt and decided she was leaving. The referee called her back. She gave the referee the belt. While the referee was giving it to the timekeeper, Nia took that chair that Naomi had brought, and as she got back into the ring, Tiffy drop kicked the chair into Nia's face, then hit the prettiest moonsault. 1, 2, 3, and still Tiffany Stratton. Thank God. Nia needs to fuck off. She is appalling. She has no personality. She is awful in the ring. She offers nothing, in my opinion. Let's get Julia into the main event picture. Let's get Alexa Bliss into the main event picture. Let's get Chelsea Green into the main event picture. Let's get Jordan Grace or Jada Parker from NXT up. Like anything but Nia. She is awful. With that said, I really enjoyed SmackDown again. I thought it was a really fun show. I'm really looking forward to Saturday night main event. So there we go. If you'd like health coaching, scan the QR code in the corner. I'd love to work with you. I do nutrition. I can help you with your sleep. I can put together a fitness plan, qualify PT, whatever it is, hit me up. I'd love to work with you. Or check out my Instagram, Foundations Health Coaching. Until next time, keep it going. All gas, no brakes. Yeah!